Well, joining me now is Iraq War veteran, former Army Major Bernard Gaynor. Welcome, Bernie.
G'day, Lyle. Thanks for having me on.
Bernie, it is great to have you. Like me, you've got a long history of activism motivated by a desire to protect children from inappropriate material. You've been persecuted and sacked by the Army for calling out the top brass for allowing soldiers to march in the Mardi Gras in uniform, and you've recently won a 7-year legal battle against a New South Wales gay activist who brought multiple vexatious complaints against you. In both cases, you've landed in hot water because there was an unwillingness to debate the merits of the concerns that you raised. But this time is different. You've recently discovered inappropriate and explicit pornographic material which seems to depict pedophilia in public libraries, and you've reported it to the police. Bernie, it's hard to fathom that something like this is happening. Tell us what's going on.
Lyle, our public libraries in Australia are filling with pornographic children's books. Some of these books even depict children engaged in sex acts. It is shocking. Essentially, they are comics. They are located next to the Batman comics, quite often very close to the Asterix and Obelix comics that many of us grew up enjoying to read when we were children. But right next to them are pornographic children's books. It is shocking. There are multiple laws being breached, from import regulations all the way through to criminal state laws or state criminal laws and Commonwealth laws regarding classification. Essentially, we need to start having our laws enforced because children are being exposed to disgusting material.
Now, we certainly do, Bernie, and we put some images up on the screen just now while you're talking. We don't mean to offend our viewers, but there's some of the more mild versions. One of the books which we had on screen just then, which you've complained to the police about rightly, is a book entitled Gender Queer. Just tell us, what is that book and what is it about?
So Gender Queer is a book by an American author in which she explains her process, I guess, of discovering how she was non-binary, whatever that means. But the problem I have with this book, and so do many other parents across Australia, is that it promotes or depicts sex scenes inside this book, which is an award-winning children's book, including scenes of pedophilia, which the author shows herself masturbating to.
Yeah, no, that's shocking. And as I said earlier, and we just had the author's image up on the screen. Just tell us who the author is.
So her name is Maya Kobabe. She is an American comic artist, I guess you could call her.
Okay.
But she enjoys, I guess, drawing pictures of herself masturbating to pedophilia.
Yeah. No, this is alleged pedophilia. So I've, as I said earlier, I've chosen not to show some of the more shocking images. What our viewers have just seen is shocking enough, but we can't not discuss what this book is pushing, and the fact that it's pushing the bounds of society's last taboo, which is sex with children. Now, the advocates for genderqueer ideology say, or genderqueer book say, that the image of adult male engaged in a sexual act with what they call a smaller figure, as the classification board describes the image, and you reported this to the classification board. They say that the image appears to be we say it appears to be an adolescent male, and they say it's a depiction from ancient Greece's Plato's Symposium. Now, I'm just going to read from the decision of the classification board. It gave this book, Gender Queer, an unrestricted classification with an M rating, which means it is not suitable for children under the age of 15. Now, this is what the board says. We're going to put the quote up on the screen. The board notes that on page 134, there is a highly stylised drawing of a work of ancient Greek art depicting a sexual encounter between an ancient Greek scholar and his student. However, given the historical context of the artwork, the narrative context of the publication and the stylisation of the imagery, the board is of the opinion that this image does not depict a child under 18 years in a way that offends against the standards of morality, decency and propriety generally accepted by reasonable adults, to the extent that it should not be classified.